and let's start the show.
There we are.
What was it, Dave Chappelle? Chappelle show.
Yeah. Chappelle show.
I'm drinking sweet tea tonight. It's gonna be decent.
Justin's got his water bottle there.
Yep.
So
Aid mix.
You got the boat now, Stalls.
You're
gonna be
a boat.
A boat. So what's the plan that y'all have come up with so far with your boat?
Well, I got boxes of Amazon stuff, so I got all the wiring set up, switch panels. We're gonna put some lights on it. Put nav lights on it, so we're gonna be legal in the early morning and evenings. We already got a little motor on it. Camoed in, it's ready to go on camo, and then I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the scissor blind. I was actually just I need to text y'all. Tractor Supply had actually what was it? Some camo. They had burlap. They had a couple different camos, 12 foot by like 54 inches for $15.
That's cheaper than Walmart.
Yeah, and they had a bunch on Tractor Supply here in town. So I'm gonna probably jump on one of those, and I was gonna talk to y'all about. They had 3 different kinds, and then I'm gonna do the scissor blind out of metal conduit.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to bring it up that way. Same thing how you did yours, Chris, with the clamps and how your video is. And just rig that up and then kind of lay in the blind so I can deploy it quickly and kind of everything just pops up with it. We just got to do plenty of scouting here soon.
Yep. What's up, TRI and Tyler? Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, I'm a stall, so I'm helping him out with whatever he needs for the boat because, like, I'm not mechanically inclined at all. So
just slap it on there and hope for the best. That's
what I can sew and all that stuff and make the blind and all that good stuff. But
turning wrenches.
If you don't hear from us after Saturday, we're in the bottom of Germantown Lake because we're going to do a main voyage out there Saturday sometime. Oh man, we'll see. It's. I'm trying to do a budget as cheap as possible. We got the boat got a great deal on it. If he's watching, appreciate it. $700. We got 14-foot John boat trailer. He gave us a lot of grass. What do you call it?
Like the bass grass stuff?
The grass mats. Gave us a bunch of grass mats. Really hooked us up. He was a duck hunter also. So we made out pretty good. Put a little work into it, and we'll have a pretty solid floating blind for this year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, my engine, I just still waiting on the drive shaft. It should be done within the next week, right? When is it, the 17th now? So, yeah, by next week. And also next week, I got big news with the doctors. So I go back to my main physical therapist, talk to them, and my other physician. So hopefully they'll start the med board soon, and I'll be out of the Army praying by probably the end of waterfowl season. So we'll see what happens with that. But once I get that drive shaft, I need to make a few runs to scout. Tomorrow I'm gonna make a run up to Cross Creek, see if I can find some geese, and just start looking out. So, and if anybody is watching this video and you're in Tennessee, Middle Tennessee, Cross Creek Refuge, Justin, that place that I drove you by, the one with the like big, you're not allowed to hunt it and that sort of thing with the waterfowl during like big duck season. So they changed the way that you're able to deer hunt that place. It's not a quota draw anymore. You can hunt it the regular archery and muzzleloader and rifle, but it goes all the way up until November 17th or something like that, and then it cuts it off. Like no more deer hunting after that. So, which is actually really, really cool because there's tons of deer on that place, and this is the first year that they've done this.
That's cool.
Yeah. But
Justin, I see you got that sinus infection still.
Yeah, still not feeling very good, but I'm getting through it.
Oh yeah, Clark Brothers begs to differ.
So I'm not trying to be rude or anything. It's just, yeah.
So those Benelli Super Black Eagles were pretty good price.
I was gonna say, pick one up.
The old man was over there too. I'm surprised you didn't run into him. He was over there about 10 o'clock.
There you go. SB 3.
He's got the original. So he's got the original Super Black Eagle, which I didn't know that was he had the OG, but
they're all good. I mean, so the only thing SBE 3's got going for it is like the Cerakote or the what's that coating called? They have like the best coating, which is kind of like the Malinite coating that Glocks have on it.
Mm-hmm.
It has on the bolt. It has some sort of feature on it now where you don't get the Benelli click. Like, do you remember when we were hunting with Soul Drifter, Chris, and I rose up out of the ground blind to shoot and went click? So when that shell gets knocked out of battery, for whatever reason, so you have to literally eject the shell and put it back in the battery. So that with the SBE 3. Yeah, still my favorite shotgun. Like I said, it's mine. I got mine used. I mean, mine's got some honest wear on it, but I mean, that thing is just, it's nasty.
That's the only way I would buy it. Is used.
I don't know.
Can't afford them new ones.
I don't know, man. I mean, it's like a solid shotgun. I mean, it's a shotgun that like I'm never gonna get rid of. And you know me, like I usually like upgrade about every other year or something like that.
Yeah.
Like that is one shotgun I'm never getting rid of. It's the SBE 3. So
it is a good shooting gun for sure. It's just that price, but it's like you said, you know, what buy once, cry once. You know, that saying that you say all the time. It's like it's just a big pill to swallow. Like spending $1,000 on a duck dog, like what I'm about to do, like I don't know, it's a little bit different than versus than buying a gun to me. It's just.
But what is your main hobby?
Waterfowl hunting.
Okay. Have you fished any this year?
No.
That's your only hobby. So
yeah,
that's justifiable purchase right there.
True. Yeah, because I did pretty much give up fishing.
Yeah,
and I've pretty much given up deer hunting too.
Yeah,
I think the price of a dog really doesn't. I mean, we paid $2,000 for our purebred AKC golden retriever, and his dad was a duck dog. That was one thing that drove me to him was his dad was a big waterfowl dog, and but it had a lot of proof behind it too. But it's a member of the family, you know. It's just I don't think you can put a price on a good dog at all.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, essentially, you get what you pay for. So, I mean, I'm not saying there's not good cheap dogs. I mean, like Remy, from a price standpoint, was one of the lower priced dogs, but she ended up being awesome. Like, she had no hunting lineage whatsoever in her, and I mean, she was awesome. She wasn't a master hunter, but she did what I wanted her to do.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's like you said, if I get one out of the, the same litter that you're getting, I mean, I'm going to pay substantially more than I paid for Remy, but I'm also getting some lineage behind it too. So, but the problem also is, I mean, unless you're paying like Stalls did, like $2,000 for a dog, I mean, they're not running the health tests, like, you know, the hip dysplasia and retina, whatever. And I mean, there's like a panel of tests that these genetic defects people like go through. And I mean, it's expensive for the breeder. So I mean, I understand the cost to it, but again,
Yeah.
it kind of gets back to, you get what you pay for.
Yeah.
I mean, you can buy a truck. You can buy a truck for $1,000 and it'll do what you want it to do, but for how long? Or will it do it as efficiently? Or is it going to save you money in the long run? Or are you just going to have to put more money into it? So,
yeah, we had tons of money, and plus, I mean, Oakley, he came with the same thing. He came out with all the background panels. He was clear. The only thing he had was he was a genetic.
Oh, he's a carrier.
He was a carrier for some kind of paw thing where his paw was like different. He was a carrier only, so he doesn't have it.
Right.
He's a carrier for it makes his paw patch softer. It's some weird thing, but he doesn't have it. He was just a carrier for it, and so was his parents. So he never, because both his parents weren't carriers. He didn't, of course, get it.
Right.
So other than that, I mean, I can't complain. He's a good dog. He's smart.
Yeah. But I mean, it's like, it's funny, I don't mean to change the subject back to like the shotgun or whatever, but like I was watching some of Chris's videos and he had a couple jams with his 870, that I've noticed. And I mean, it's a reliable gun. It's a good gun. I mean, you'd be hard pressed to find a better shotgun for the price range. Yeah. But knock on wood. Now I'm going to jinx myself for saying this, but I have not had that problem with my Super Black Eagle 3. Where I have had it with the Supernova, I've had it with the 870, definitely had it with the Mossberg 835. Actually, the Mossberg 930, I don't think I've ever had a misfire, knock on wood. So, but again, you strip both of those shotguns down to clean them. Like I'm talking completely strip it down. You see where the price and the quality are going because the parts are so much more refined on the Super Black Eagle 3 than the 930. So there's a lot more plastic in the 930 than there is in the Super Black Eagle 3.
Well, we'll see once I put those Oregon parts on mine, then competition parts. They'll be here Friday.
Yeah.
We'll see how she cycles and shoots.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, with the 930, you don't have the versatility like you do the Super Black Eagle 3 because the Super Black Eagle 3 you can shoot 2 3/4, 3 inch, and 3.5. You can only shoot 2 3/4 and 3 with the 930.
Mm-hmm.
In the 935, which shoots a 3.5, they don't recommend you shoot light loads and 2 3/4 loads. It's 3 inch and 3.5. Now you can shoot it; it's just not going to cycle as reliable. From what research I've pulled up on the Mossberg website, so.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if this is your only hobby, like, I can justify paying the money for the shotgun. Now, it might be used or whatever, but it's still, however much it is. Or I'd say the hardest pill for me to swallow would be those $1,000 Sitka waders. Like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the wader part, I mean, when you get to the point where you're comparing like neoprene versus breathable, like there's some comparison there. There's pros and cons of both. But when you get into comparing, like, I don't know, like your cheap Cabela's, it's worked for thousands and thousands of different people versus like the $1,000 Sitka wader. Like I just can't justify spending $1,000 on a pair of waders and the warranty. Huh?
I'd be scared to death to wear them.
Yeah, because even the warranty, like you more than likely probably have to pay for the shipping. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments.
I'd be scared to wear
it. Right now, you do have to pay for shipping on returns because I had a jacket she got me for Christmas, $20 in return shipping on a shirt that cost $80.
Then you still have to pay partial for the repair too, right?
No, I returned it because it didn't fit.
Oh, just straight up returned it. Yeah.
And it was on special, so they didn't have any others on my size, so I just returned it. But I had to pay $20 in return shipping, so I lost money.
I'd be scared to wear that $70 hat that you're wearing.
It was $35. But you're talking about, scared of, abusing things. Like, that's what I'm like with that Super Black Eagle. I'm kind of like, do I want that as a field gun? Do I want to put that in the field and
Oh, you
beat
didn't
it
get hurt.
up? I know, but at the same time, like, and you saw this the other day. This is still sitting here and ain't even mounted on the gun yet because I'm scared to put it on the gun. That's the $1,500, and I'm like,
Ain't gonna do no good in the box.
I'm scared.
Yeah.
Cellophane off.
I oh my God, if I mess that scope up, I'm gonna cry.
That's like that one scope I got for that I had on my 17. And I was, I was scared to death to put that thing on a 30-06 because I thought it was it was like made for like rimfire only, like it couldn't handle like the recoil of 30-06, and I was like, screw it. So Justin told me, he was like, put it on there, it'd be fine. And sure as shit, I put it on there, and 100 yards, dude, you can drill dimes with it. Because the thing zooms in like 40 times. Like at 100 yards, you see like nothing but like your little 6-inch target. It's wild.
God.
Oh, Matt talking about your flat bill.
It's got a curve. It ain't. That's flat. It's got a little curve to it.
Other guys are talking about the dogs when we started talking about the topic of dogs and purebred and hunt tested versus just
That's
some
a sore subject for some.
yeah. So,
I don't know. I could probably see a Chihuahua Retriever Goose. It'd be hard, but I could probably see it.
I can't. So y'all have to tell me.
And then
I'm not an expert in dogs. I can just tell you what I've experienced. So
yeah. I mean, I feel like getting it from this family that breeds them in Virginia. Like my wife's parents have theirs, and they've had no issues with that dog, and they're massive too. Like I want to say Gibbs is like 90-some pounds.
Oh yeah, they're big dogs.
I mean, just a beast.
There's one down the road named, they call him Houston because there's no other. They couldn't find a name to fit him, quote unquote. And this dog's like 110 pounds, and I mean that all muscle. I'm like this thing. There's no way this thing's a purebred lab. It is. I mean, it looks like a doggone Clydesdale out there running around.
That's awesome. Because at the end of the day, I feel like if I turn around and I go like, I don't know, get on like this big massive like snow goose hunt or hunt, get into I mean, heck, back on the the Atlantic Ocean, sea duck hunting or something like that. Like I feel like having a bigger dog would benefit for that versus a smaller bodied one. Yeah. I don't know. I'm just hoping that he's like not super high strung. I like the high strung dogs in some cases, but for me and just like how I work, I feel like a slow dog that still like has the drive to go retrieve. I think I'll be happy with.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
Yeah, and I believe. I mean, it's all in. Everybody's in the comments talking about training, and I got a dog that ain't worth a shit. It's you got to put the time in the dog. I'm a big believer in it. Everybody's got some knowledge. You can always teach a dog something. I have a great trainer. He does canines. He is a canine officer. His son is. They're big in the community with canines, and every week he does group training, and it's just a bunch of random dogs, mutts, purebreds, everything. And I've seen one dog that is sitting there aggressive, and the dog sits in the corner. And what he does is he just wants the dog to get used to having other dogs around. And eventually that dog has gotten a lot better than what I've seen over the weeks, and you just got to put the time in.
Yeah.
You got to put the time in. I've seen there's huskies in the group, and those can be one of the hardest dogs to train as a husky.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm watching these huskies get their certifications, getting AKC certifications and stuff, going right through. Did better than my golden retriever.
Yeah.
on some of the courses. And, it's just you got to put your time in with the dog. You can teach the dog anything. You just got to put the time in with it.
Yeah.
Right, Justin? You put a lot of time in your dogs for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, especially the dog you got now. I mean, even though it's not a hunting dog, I mean, I think that dog would probably retrieve pretty good.
I mean, she'd probably be good with like doves and stuff like that, but like bigger ducks and geese. I mean, she's like 30 pounds. So I mean, like people use Boykins and stuff like that, but I don't know. She's not a hunting dog. I mean, she's a herding dog. She's a stock dog. So, but she's smart. She's quick. She loves birds. But
she's quick. We learned that one day when Chris was out there. Remember?
Oh yeah.
I think just showed up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, jumped in the air, grabbed a bird, and was gone. Oh man.
Man, they're downstairs tearing it up. I'm gonna go down there. It's gonna look like a tornado.
Mm-hmm.
Also, so old Daddy Duck Matt from South Carolina, Justin, he said the first time he saw you, it reminded him of the Christmas Story.
Wait.
I said, what are you talking about, Matt? Talked to him on the phone the other day. He's like, yeah, he just looks like the kid off Christmas Story.
That's what we used to call him at work. We called him Ralphie at work.
Ralphie. Oh Lord.
That was good.
Good.
He just don't.
That was one of the comments in here. He said, "Don't shoot your eye out, kid."
Yep, exactly. That's all right. Talking bad about me, they ain't talking bad about somebody else. So keep on talking.
Oh man.
Lord.
Oh,
let's see what else. I'm trying to bring in some of the comments. They're still talking about the pedigrees and dogs and stuff.
I got some old Schmitty. I'm sure he's still watching. He's going to be hunting here soon with an 870. He got it years ago. So
yeah,
I think.
Ain't nothing wrong with the 870.
No, and I told him. I said, you know what? It's a beat up gun. You can do whatever you want with it. You can probably drop it in the mud, pick it up, and it's still going to shoot just fine. It's going to cycle just fine. It's just 870. I feel like 870 is like it's like a Honda Civic or a Toyota Camry. It's going to run forever, no matter how much you abuse it.
Yeah.
I definitely told him to save his money. Hunt with the 870. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Cycle it. And,
yeah. I mean,
get with it.
I've had it for 3 seasons now, and I've killed tons of birds with it. Ducks, geese, snow geese.
What choker? I was telling him to get the Carlson long range on it.
So at first, I was using the no, not the factory. It was the Pattern Master, the Code Black Goose, which the Goose is it's more of like restricting, so it would be considered almost like a full choke, and that thing was terrible. So then I switched to the factory choke, and I mean I wouldn't say I was nailing birds left and right, but it definitely improved a crap ton. And then I went and purchased the
Kick.
The Kicks High Flyer modified, and that did really good for me last season. So I killed almost it was in the 60s. It was like 63 or 64 birds last season. So that's what I got.
Yeah, you see Tyler's comment about dove and no etiquette. That was the story I told about those foreigners shooting over people's heads and shooting at the wood line. Phelps, of course.
Yeah, you got to be careful hunting WMAs. I mean, for anything.
Yeah.
That incident that happened at Reelfoot Lake, was that Reelfoot WMA where they were at? Were they?
Sorry, I'm reading this comment from Tyler here. I'm gonna bring it up here on the screen. I bought the gun to dove hunt Develops for the opening season for Dove about 5 years ago.
Yeah, that was a discouraging hunt for sure. It was rough. It was probably about well over 100 people on a 25, 30 acres spread.
Hmm.
And it was just, we did meet a nice guy there with a poodle as a retriever, going back to dogs.
Yeah.
Purebred poodle, and real nice guy. We ended up working a spread with him for a little bit on our decoys.
Mm-hmm.
Got to talk to him. That poodle was absolutely sharp.
Yeah.
I mean, just an absolute amazing dog he had for sure.
Why the poodles have the weird haircuts, right? I mean, they're the original bow dog.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Their chest and all that stuff warm in cold water. So
yeah.
Yeah.
And the old Uncle Si down there with Duck Commander, like I think that's what he used for the longest time was a poodle.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, hopefully Tyler's going to go with us to hunt geese for residential goose. So we'll probably on the river and then get out there real early and set up. Maybe take a cat nap before dawn, and then hopefully have at them if they haven't already busted them up. But
yeah. And Tyler, he's right there in the same town as you, Justin. So he's about a mile away from you.
Okay, so for the new hunters out there, okay, if you had to choose one duck call, okay, one duck call under $150, one duck call under $100, and one duck call under $50. It can be the same duck call, or it can be 3 different duck calls. What would you pick?
Y'all go ahead and blow it up in the comments.
Like Tyler, I'll go with y'all. I'll pick up the wads and the shells. Oh god. Yeah, I tell you, I am happy with the my choice of the call I got this past week.
Yep.
That was pretty good.
So I'm gonna have one call for all 3, and I know I'm gonna catch some flack about it because, I mean, I'll admit I am a fanboy of Duck Commander.
Yep.
Now, with that being said, I got into duck hunting before the whole Duck Dynasty thing. I didn't even know about the Robertsons when I first got into duck hunting because it was something to do after deer hunting. It was just something to do to kind of pass the wintertime blues.
Mm-hmm.
But if I had one call at all of them, it would be the Jace Robertson Pro Series because you can get them on Amazon sometimes for like $40. And Brian Higgins actually bought Chris and I one for Christmas, and I can make that call do everything. It's a double reed. I mean, it's easy to blow, cage and squeal it. I mean, just flawlessly. I mean, it's a good sounding call. And I haven't gotten a duck call yet that does not stick, and that rarely sticks. It will stick, but it rarely sticks.
Yeah.
So
We got
going with the
Chris,
buck garter.
Chris say the JT CQ2.
I do love that CQ2. I mean, I've used that thing for I don't know how many seasons now, so I've got tons of practice on it. That would be for my $100 to $150 range. Would be the JT calls. I don't know. I just like them. Now that single reed, the Omen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was really.
It's probably the worst. I wouldn't say the worst call I got, but it's probably one of the worst ones. Now the Jace call, like you said with the Cajun squeal, that's the best one that does it for the Cajun squeal for me. So I guess that would be in between 50 to 100. But if you're looking for something for under $50,
Well, some Amazon for like 30 or 40.
Yeah,
depending on fluctuate stuff. So that's why I say you have to watch the sales or something. But
yeah, but like Continuing Creek Waterfowl. I mean, it's kind of a shameless plug for her, but I mean, I liked her stuff personally. And she's starting to make her own inserts too.
Okay.
She's got her own jig and all that stuff.
I do, like, if you want one that's like a standard under like $50, have Duck Commander Duck Picker. All of their favorites duck call. Like, I mean, Phil Robertson, watch any of his videos stuff, he'll say like Picker's his favorite. But Haydell's makes, what was that one? The
85.
85. Yeah.
Yep.
How many killed on the 85?
You said how many what? You broke up.
Like, how many ducks have been killed on the 85?
Oh, probably thousands.
Yeah. And that's like a
Yeah.
$20.
Yeah. And it's so easy to blow too. Like, you don't have to like really do much with it. You know, like I shouldn't say a lot of calls, but some calls, like, you have to use a lot of throat or don't use any throat. And, you know, the amount of pressure that you have to give it and that sort of thing. Like the Haydale for like the brand new duck hunter, like that's what everybody that asks on Facebook, that's why I'd instantly tell them is just go pick up an 85.
$40. Cabela's. There it is.
Oh, we're talking. If we're gonna talk, well, here let me hit the comments real fast since we have people reply. Jason from East Tennessee said the duck picker.
What?
We got a Buck Gardner double nasty.
That's good.
Matt from Daddy Duck said the Duck Commander or a Yitzen.
Oh yeah, the Yancey. Yeah,
Yeah.
one looks like a barrel.
Yep. Getting it outdoors says Buck Gardner Mallard Magic. Yeah, that's about it for the comments on the duck calls. But we're gonna talk goose calls now. Go ahead, Stalls. Talk about that raptor you got.
Raptor right there, $40. Amazon, you get them on Amazon, Cabela's. Get them from Cabela's. If you buy them on free field room, you got to pay $8 shipping. Cabela's keeps it in stock. They keep the ivory and the white, and cheap, easy.
You bought that last week while we were on the live.
Yep.
Yep.
And it's yeah, we're practicing with it.
Yeah. Tyler said hit it.
No, we ain't hitting it. Nope.
Pulled it out. Might as well send it.
Yeah, might as well.
Mm. Still trying to get that low.
Uh-oh.
Trying to get that low. Can't get it. Nah, I gotta hit that low, man.
Need that practice.
Yeah.
He's call shy right now. Don't worry about it. Give him until the end of goose season. He'll be all right.
Oh man. I think duck calls. Here's my duck call, honey. Thanks, baby. She's best.
I was gonna say that's a good wife right there.
She well, she's sitting there. Look, she's trying to sign me to something. I don't know what she's trying to sign. I'm not very good at sign language. I don't remember what call I got last year for.
You got the Jace Roberts series, the Tiger Woods like us.
Is that
Oh,
right?
yeah. You broke up real bad, Justin. We couldn't hear you.
Yeah, that's what I got. The Jace Robinson Pro Series. Yep.
Yeah, if you got the acrylic, you didn't get the Tiger Wood.
Yep. Sounds like the south end of northbound goose to the stomach ache. Hey, I'm more learning now. Easy.
All right, go ahead and send it, Sal.
Oh god. No, I'm good. I'm learning.
Well, we need some more practice on that one too.
Yeah, we gotta learn this. Hey, but as soon as I start doing this is a great call for my dog. As soon as I start doing this, he's running through the house.
Looking for something.
Yeah.
Justin, what's your go-to goose call?
Oh man, that's a tough
I know you
one.
got a ton of them.
Yeah. Okay. So do yourself a favor and stay away from the goose flutes. They are not worth it.
Yep.
A lot of beginners use them and stuff. Just go straight to a short reed. It's going to take a little bit more work, but the outcome is going to be so much better. If I could only choose one, it would be the short fuse.
Yeah.
Now, with that said, I like it because it's so versatile. I mean, you can get real low with it, you can get high with it. I mean, it's so responsive. Like, I mean, you can do murmurs and clucks and moans and whines and yells and the comebacks, and I mean, it's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But a close second would probably be that Raptor that Stahl's got. I mean, I've turned them. If I ever figure out how to post on YouTube or whatever, I'll make that video. I'll send it to Stahl so he can post it on his. I don't care. Yours, it really doesn't matter to me because, like I said, I don't know how to do it. But you actually included it in. It was like a collab, Chris, where you had like the Tennessee hunt and you had my hunt.
Yep.
So like, I think I was using that to turn them. I was using when I turned those that whole flock of them, and I didn't like the field proofing because it almost has like an echo, like in the exhaust, like it's almost like a reverb or something. I'm like, it just doesn't sound right, but for whatever reason, the geese love them so. And then I got the Workhorse, which is essentially like the Raptor, and the barrel's a little bit shorter, and it's made out of wood, so it's like a hybrid.
Yeah.
So I would say if you could afford it, go with the short fuse. That's one of the only JT calls I like, and it's nothing personal against JT calls. I mean, you know, there's a lot of people that can sit there and like, you know, talk magic out of them, but they just don't work really good for me. But
everybody blows different.
Right, exactly. But no, I would say if you're just starting out, just go ahead and get the field proven Raptor. $40. It has a lifetime warranty. It's polycarbonate, so it's pretty forgiving. Although I'd like to get something out of the Delrin material because the Delrin's actually harder than acrylic.
Yep.
And it's like $50 to $60 cheaper. So I know, was it Big Sean's? He's making stuff out of Delrin now. Singleton is making Delrin calls. So
yeah. Now that's funny you bring that up because last time we were talking about this 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I couldn't think of the name. It was the Singleton duck call, and that call right there, sounds sick. I ain't got the money for it though, but old Chase, Chase has turned tons of ducks for me using that Singleton call, and I'll just sit there and let him work the call. But
that's like a Kurt McCullough like keyhole call, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I mean, he gets raspy with it, very responsive. Like, you know, he'll turn around and hit them with like a comeback call or, you know, whatever, you know, the greeting call. And they just turn around and it's like, okay, you know, they turn around and just start maple leaping right in.
But what was that one duck call that guy was using when we were out there in Tennessee?
The 737.
737. That's what it is. That sounded pretty good too.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I know that dude's jaw was tired because I mean, it was just wang, 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 wang all day long,
blowing on it with a purpose.
Yeah, I reckon. I didn't really see too many ducks, but hey, you know, I ain't trying to.
But, yeah, I mean, when it comes to calls, like every call is different, just like every duck is different. Not all ducks sound the same. Not all geese sound the same. But it does come down to practicing, you know, and it's best to practice at home and not in the field. So,
yeah. Yeah.
I'm just sitting here reading
so
some of the comments.
So I would say for the newer hunters, I'd say if you're gonna hunt geese and ducks, I'd say first duck call, go with either the duck picker or the triple threat, and then go with the field proven calls Raptor.
And the field proven calls, Raptor right here can be bought with the QVC code CALL52. Call in today. Special offer.
There you go.
Oh, God. Yeah, no.
And then shotgun shells. Y'all are pretty much sold like I am on the Kent.
We're using Remington Sure Shot with DuPont Power Piston Clean from Clark Brothers for $2.50. Back I don't know when.
1952.
Well, and here's the thing. Like with again the shotgun stuff, like when I went to Cabela's, when was it? Sunday, I guess. It like the Black Cloud shells, Black Cloud shells were like $40 a box. And I swear about Black Cloud.
Yeah.
They did it for me, but I'm not paying $40 for 25 shells, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, even the Winchester Super X's, the white boxes that we were paying, what, like $12, I think, for the 3-inch ones, or $17 for the 3.5s.
Yeah.
They're like $2 a box. So, like, for $5 more, you can get a clean shooting shell that has better shot in it. I mean, like, you get those Kents open, and I mean, it looked like somebody like polished every single one of those pellets.
Yep.
So.
Which was wild to me when I busted that thing open, because you know how it is with the advertising. You know, it's like you look at the McDonald's advertising, you look at the Big Mac, and then you order a Big Mac and you look at it. Like, it doesn't really look like, you know, what's in the picture. And going off the box, you know, and looking on the back, and they're talking about like precision, you know, nickel plated and all that sort of stuff. And I'm like, all right, like, you know, I'll take you at your word. But once you actually cut it open and you see it firsthand, and the wad is what stood out to me the most, because every shotgun wad that I've ever come in contact with, you know, has like either 3 or 4, you know, the plastic things that, you know, get blown out. And down at the bottom is, you know, kind of like the cushion. It's got like another cap that, you know, before it hits all the powder. And the wad that the Kent uses is one single wad, and it's ribbed.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean by ribbed for all of us adults. Like, yeah. So if you're shooting like a pattern master, and this is, you know, at the time I was shooting pattern master, like I was like, well, that's got to catch those grooves even more, you know, versus a different type of wad that doesn't have, you know, the ribs. It's really wild. So I'd say for y'all watching, just might as well buy a box, cut one open, take a look at it, shoot it, see how it patterns, and you can tell me later if I suck and I, you know, wasted $20 of your money.
And I was just looking at this too, Justin. These are made in Kearneysville, West Virginia, which is only like an hour from us.
There you go.
That's where I should get out of the Army, move there. I'll go work.
Probably go on a factory tour, you know, just to make sure and maybe get some free shit out of them.
Yeah, no, and I think, I mean, just like duck calls, shotgun shells, different material has its place. Like I'm not gonna lie, tungsten is metal. You know, bismuth, killing metal, and bismuth might work awesome out of like, you know, old A5. I'm not disputing that. But what I am doing, and the way it works fine. You know, for the late season geese, when I mean the down's thick, like you've hunted late season geese with me when the migratories are here. I mean, it's like they're wearing like an armor coat.
Yeah.
The black clouds have never let me down. So.
Yeah.
But again, I have a hard time paying $40 a box. I mean, I understand I can buy a case and save, you know, get a box for free or whatever, but that's just not in the cards right now. So.
Yeah. I mean, you're talking about $40 a case. I just added up today. I was going through all the licenses that I need to buy this year, between just my normal hunting license, you know, our duck stamps, all that stuff, and then also the floating blind permit. It's like six damn different things I have to buy in order to legally hunt. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, the state is just.
Oh, the comp scarce. I mean, there's no.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's nothing cheap, and the bad part about it, like hunting or, I mean, coming like a commodity now. I mean, they're gonna. People are doing it for the nostalgia purposes and for the heritage purposes. I mean, you have all these different things that go into hunting, different for different people, and profiting off of that. So.
Yeah, no, I mean it is cool that you actually get a physical duck stamp when you buy the duck stamp. That is kind of cool in the state of Virginia. I don't know if Tennessee you get an actual stamp too.
No.
Yeah, Virginia when you get your duck stamp, they actually send you a physical duck stamp with a duck on it. I mean, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And, I mean, everybody just collects them. It's just a collectible item. But
I can't remember if Maryland did it or not.
Yeah.
Did they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Tennessee, they like to nickel and dime you. It's like getting it outdoors said, like they get you with the WMA permits. They get you with hunting like some of the different refuges. So like if you hunt LBL, that's $25 versus you hunt Cross Creek, that's like another $25.
So they charge you for WMAs in Tennessee.
Yep.
Yep.
You gotta have a WMA permit, and then even Reelfoot Lake, that's a separate permit itself too.
That's insane. Yeah. See, in Virginia, it's you either have a hunting license, a fishing license. If you don't have either of those, then you have to get a WMA permit. But your hunting and fishing license counts as your WMA entrance.
Yeah. But yeah, that's how they get a lot of my guys that I hunt with. All the younger guys, like they'll get them with that. They'll come out there and they'll be that's the first thing they look for. They don't care about the shells. Like every time I've run into a game warden out here, they ain't checking the shells. They're looking for the for the WMA permit, and that's I've got the video posted up from last season. It's one of the wood duck hunts, and that was one of the first things she asked me, and I'm like, I have the most expensive license that Tennessee offers, which is it's the sportsman's package, and it covers like all your hunting, all your fishing, your trapping, your WMAs, like everything. So the only thing I have to purchase, separately is the $25 federal stamp, and then the like if I go hunt like a refuge or LBL or something like that. And she still was like, "Well, where's your WMA permit?" And I was like, "You don't need that."
That's right. It's literally
I pay almost $160 for this hunting license. Like, no,
it's public land. Your tax dollars already paid for that land, and then you're going to pay for a permit to go on the land that your tax dollars already paid for.
Public landowner.
Yep.
Hey, I don't have to stick on the back of my truck. I don't know who someone in this group might, but
that's all right. You're gonna have it on your boat, your truck, and
and that's the same thing. Same thing with taxidermy too. So you got to have your taxidermy permit with the state.
Yep.
You have to have a federal permit that you have to apply for.
You have to do any type of birds. You got to have a federal one.
Yep. Which
is nuts. I'd reached out to somebody who was an apprentice when I shot my first goose. I'm like, this would be pretty cool. I might just mount my first goose. That'd be pretty neat. And she was like, I can't touch birds. I don't have the federal license for that. I'm like, you gotta have a federal license to stuff a dang bird, stuff and everything else. But it's just the country is so weird about birds.
Yeah.
It's insane. I mean, almost every bird is protected federally. I mean, there's only a few that aren't, which are like, just crows and certain other things. But like,
crows migratory.
Crows is migratory.
Okay, crows are migratory. I mean, like, well, any type of bird that nests. I mean, I deal with at work. Any type of bird, if there's a bird nest, legally, you can't physically touch it at all.
Yeah.
Until they are out of the nest and all the eggs are hatched, and then you can destroy the nest. But they can nest wherever the hell you want, and you're not touching it.
Yeah.
It's crazy how birds have such strict federal laws on them.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we're kind of lucky we can even hunt them.
They need to open up the season on seagulls for real. That and cormorants.
All right. If you had to only choose one blind bag starting out, which one would you choose?
Drake 2.0.
That Stahl's got for like $20.
Clearance. It's a nice bag. It is a nice bag. A lot of room. It's a very nice bag. I like it a lot.
I've had many different bags.
But I will say, my first one was a backpack from Walmart, and it was not bad either.
I think a lot of it just goes around with how you hunt. Are you a pack rat, or are you like a bare minimum type of guy?
You got to have some Slim Jims in there and some bottles of water. I mean,
so then you're already out of the size that I typically carry.
Yeah,
because I'm like the little purse kind of guy, like something, maybe 14 inches long, 6-7 inches wide. It ain't that deep.
Can't fit thermos in that.
No, I can clip my thermos on the outside, or I throw it in the back of the sled.
That goes in the bag too. Got to toss it all.
But I mean, if I had to pick, like I used that Northern Flight bag all last season. I loved it. And Justin, I got yours. I forget the brand on that one, but I might step up to that. It's what?
It's Bandit. That's the brand, Bandit.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I might step up to that because it seems like it's a hair bit bigger, so it might help me out. Because I feel like when I stuff like my headlamp and stuff in my bag, it kind of takes up a lot of space too. So I'm a bare minimum type of person. Now, after that one hunt that me and Justin went on and I almost died, like since then, I bring water
bottles.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to put the link of that video in the comment section, whatever, Chris. Where you said where the coyotes tell them come eat me.
That was bad.
Yeah, we were talking about just blind bags just now. I got to find a bag. I got 24 ears of corn here now, and I can't use a decoy bags. That's way too overkill. Tyler's saying a fanny pack. I mean, you can put your little shells in the fanny pack and maybe a little thing of nabs or something like that in there.
You could.
I mean, you could. I mean, that's on your list right there. But I'm trying to find a bag to put all those ears of corn in, just something to take those around.
I'm telling you, man, put a piece of paracord
on it. For everybody listening, fake ears of corn.
Yes, they're the Avery or GHG or whatever. Yeah, but there's a loop on the end of them. Put a piece of paracord through it, loop the paracord, then hook it to a carabiner and hook it to the outside. That's what I do with mine.
I was thinking about maybe buying a big ring and hooking all of them up to the ring maybe and just carrying the ring. But Midway USA had a sale on them there. I think they're $15 for a dozen.
They used to get those out with decoys back in the day.
Really?
Yeah, free. Yeah, you get a dozen of them with the decoys for free.
Oh, shit. It's kind of just funny, you can't, of course, bait them, but hey, you can throw pieces of fake plastic corn looking things out there and not baiting.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm about to buy me a box once I get paid at the end of the month.
Larry Potterfield will thank you from Midway USA.
But I tell you, there's actually a bag I'm looking at getting here. I'd like to get it before Residential Goose, but I don't think it's going to happen. And Chris is going to hate me for saying this. But Dive Bomb makes one that's it's like a PVC, but it's not PVC. It starts with a T, but it's all welded and all that stuff, so it's waterproof. But that's a pretty sweet bag.
They do make some cool stuff. I'll give them that.
And I mean, Did you see their goose flag? They actually have a pretty sweet goose flag too, but I don't know if I'd pay $75 for it.
That's a little high.
See, a lot of the stuff is just you're buying for the name, and being that it's such a fanboy thing, man. Like, why you're gonna get me on the soapbox? I'm fired up now.
Okay, go.
Why are you gonna charge out the ass for a
Why you take the
decoy
Sitka hat
anchor
off?
line, and you're gonna have like the little emblem of like the dive bomb as like the weight, and you're gonna charge like $40 or $50 for like a set of 6 or a set of 12? Like, get out of here, man. Like, I can go to like, well, back when Dick's was actually decent and sold hunting stuff, like I went into Dick's up there in Maryland, and I would buy a whole dozen full of anchor rigs for like $15, and I still got them. I've been using them for seasons. Like, I think a lot of it they charge just because people are like, look at me.
Well, it's the whole hype thing we were talking about in the past episodes and stuff like that. But I mean, like the bags, the dry line bags. I mean, why hasn't any other bag company come up with this dry line? All it is a dry bag that's been turned into a handbag. I mean, if I wish I had the capability to do that, but I mean, if somebody else could come up with something a little bit better, I mean, they could charge twice as much and sell out of them. The goose flags. If you can make a goose flag that'll last more than one season, I'm talking like the way we hunt them, and we use goose flags. I mean, when we're running traffic, I mean, it's nonstop. If you can make one to last more than one season, I mean, you got something. So,
yeah.
I will say also.
Go ahead, Zach.
Drake has their Gilly blind bag on sale for $27.95 right now.
I saw that.
Yeah, because they're having that big deal right now, right?
They're doing like final discounts right now before the season starts, and they're doing waiter sales and I mean everything. But the time to get it is when these things go on sale.
So that's the thing. Like before Sitka and all that stuff came out, like Drake and Bandit were it. It was like you had to have Drake, you had to have Bandit.
Mm-hmm.
And next thing you know, Steve Ranella comes out, and then First Light, and then Sitka hits the scene, and then it's just like you got to have Sitka, you got to have First Light, you got to have, how do you say the other one, Kubu or something, the Kuiu, or and it's just, I mean, don't get me wrong, some of the patterns are cool, but like, I mean,
yeah, guys are out there slaying ducks with regular old camo versus the crap that they got out now, which like
look at Chase hunting in that flannel when y'all were hunting in the snow. Y'all killed that bandit.
I've killed so many ducks with Chase just wearing a white flannel, white and blue flannel shirt, a blue flannel, red flannel. Like, he don't care. He'll come out there for, right before work, bang on birds, wearing blue jeans and, some muck boots, like, as long as you're somewhat covered up, you sound good on a call, got a decent spread, you set it up right, wind's right, everything's in a perfect condition, like, you're going to kill ducks. So, but the thing is you just got to be in the area where they are,
Right. And I mean, it's just a matter of time. I mean, like you look at ducks and you look at Dive Bomb, they're releasing their like clothing lines and stuff now. So like your big YouTubers that were all like hung up on Sitka are now like, oh yeah, I'm just hunting ducks or bucks or Dive Bomb or this bomb or that bomb or any bomb. I mean, it's whoever's the coolest guy wearing the coolest stuff right now. It's essentially like when you were back in high school and somebody was wearing a new pair of like Air Jordans or something like that. Everybody wanted the Air Jordans. So,
yeah.
I've wore Drake for over 5-6 years now, and I got kind of on the hype when my cousins down in North Carolina, they're big bird hunters. They all started getting stuff, and I got some stuff. And I'm gonna tell you, I've had the jackets 5-6 years, and they hold up. They do. They really do.
And it's funny you say that, because if you go down to like the Outer Banks or whatever, and go to like your bait shops and all that stuff, your sporting goods stores that like duck hunt, all they carry is Drake and a little bit of Bandit stuff. They don't carry any Sitka or any of that other junk. So,
and I will say too, everybody's buying the shoes now. What were the Hook sells them, but they're also, what's those new water shoes everybody's buying?
I know what you're talking about. The ones that just come up above your ankles.
Yeah, I bought a pair for when I had my pressure washing business. And when I was at TW's last week, I looked at them because TW's right now is blowing up right now. They got all their waterfowl stuff out. They're pushing these shoes too. And you know what? Mine are only 2 years old. And I went to the beach. We were taking pictures, and they had a hole in them. 2 years old. Already had a hole wide open in them. They didn't even last 2 years. I barely wear them. I just wore them, when it was raining outside or something like that. But it's just, and people are just buying this crap, and if I have something last me 5 years, it's quality. If it lasts me 5 years, it's good to go. But some of this stuff just doesn't even last at all. And I mean, people are just pushing it. Everybody sees everybody wearing them and stuff, and it's like a fashion statement.
Yeah. And it's like, the Versatile Hunter said in here, Ryan from Maryland, he said, it's a big marketing scheme, and it's even in the fishing industry too. Like, the products, a lot of the products made nowadays are more geared towards selling, or how do I word this? It's selling like pretty much for the hunter.
You're selling for the fisherman, not the fish.
That's right.
There you go. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think
it's like the decoys, for example. They get me on my soapbox for that. It's like, some of these companies are like, oh, they got different head positions and, all this sort of stuff. It's like, if that duck's that close to see the head position and that's what makes them flare, then you're late on calling the shot. Sorry. Yeah. Like, the head position ain't going to change a duck from, coming into your spread. I'm sorry. Like, no, there's no way. No one can argue and say any different with me. I can't believe it. And then like the paint schemes, like, I mean, yeah, obviously you want your stuff to like look as realistic as possible. You always want to try to have the best of the best, but at the same time, I'm not going to spend, an extra $150, on the same amount of decoys, versus something that, I can buy that's a hell of a lot cheaper and still get the job done.
Yeah, but like where you're hunting, you need numbers. So it's not really the quality, but the quantity. Like up here, we don't need the numbers, so it's more quantity or quality instead of quantity. So
yeah, which is a very, very good point.
Yeah, no, I agree with the fishing and the fishermen, and of course y'all both know my experience at the bait shop last week with. And they're a very well known bait shop, and they're just there to sell the experience to people and sell almost hopes and dreams for a lot. You go buy it. If you buy the most expensive camo, buy the most expensive gun, you think that you're going to shoot the most birds. If you go down here to this bait shop and they're selling you all this great stuff that you're going to catch this, you're going to do this, get this. Man, that poor guy. I mean, I felt so bad for him. He was so excited. He's going to go catch sheep's head. He's going to go fishing for sheep's head. Mm-hmm. He bought $50 worth of Lord's stuff. And when I got up to that line, I said, why in the hell did you just tell that guy he's going to go ahead and catch sheep's head day? They're not even hitting right now. Catching sheep's head is like 1 in a million in Outer Banks. There's hardly any down there.
Yeah.
Hard as hell to go get after. It's not the right timing, and you're over here just selling this guy hopes and dreams.
Yeah.
And I think that's what a lot of people see with this. Me and Justin saw plenty of times when we were going out in the mornings and we'd see these Sitka boys roll up. They'd be pulling 6x14 trailer, load it down with the best of the best everything, lit up. They'd all be in the best of the best camo. They'd all be pulling out their Super Black Eagle 3s, their Brownings. They're pulling out the best of the best, and we're over there in a blind that cost us $50 next field over, drinking coffee, bullshitting with our little buddy heaters, and we just felt like we were going to piss them off, so we just started blasting shots in the air, acting like we were shooting them just to piss them off. And they ended up leaving like 2 hours later because they thought we were killing everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. And my hat was a Christmas present from my wife, who they sent her a flyer in the mail right before Christmas, made out to her, and she had never bought a Sitka before, never even heard of it. And she saw it, and she saw it was a camouflage company, and bought me a hat and shirt for Christmas. And then, literally 2 weeks before the hat was Christmas, I made this huge Facebook post bitching about Sitka, and she had already bought me a hat for Christmas. Kind of felt bad.
That's a lot of people that wear it. Like the guys I hunt with, there's a few of them that have like the jackets. And I'm like, man, it must be nice to be wearing like a $600 jacket. And they're like, oh, I didn't buy this. It was a Christmas present.
It was the weirdest thing. It was made out to my wife's name, sent to my house, and it was a Sitka catalog.
Yeah.
And I asked her, what did you sign up for? And she's like, I don't even know what the hell Sitka is. I just saw it as a camouflage, and I know that you were wanting something hunting, and I was hunting with Justin, and she had ordered me the crap online. It was weird,
Well, no, you had got the hat, and so it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird how it all works out. You know what I mean? So like Stalls was selling, I think it was a Brad, like what was it, like the
pass load?
Yeah.
Yep.
And we go to buy it, and I'm like, Stalls? And he's wearing this Sitka hat. I was like, are you a duck hunter? He's like, no, why? And I was like, you're wearing Sitka. And he's like, oh, my wife got this for me. And I was like, well, you want to go duck hunting? He's like, yeah. And, just in general conversation, I'm like, I always tell people, hey, you want to go goose hunting, duck hunting? And nobody ever gets back to me. And he's like, when are we going? And I'm like, I don't know. You want to go this weekend? So next thing I know, he's buying a shotgun. And all this other
Waiter, shotgun. I spent about $1,500 that week.
So I'm like, I got everything you need. You don't need to buy anything. And I mean, my man just dove head first. So.
And yeah, Tyler was asking me that last night, and he's talking comments about strategy on spreading decoys and birds out in the field.
Oh,
you bring them out in the field, we'll show them.
I told him,
that's why I just told him in the comments. He's
Yeah.
gonna have to see it. So
yeah, I told him it all depends on kind of wind direction, where they're coming in from, and just factors.
So yeah, just have them. I mean, residential is. I mean, we're going to be out of town then, but I mean, when we get back, we'll hit it up.
Well, Tyler's going to the same bachelor party as I am, so we're both there.
Yep.
So we'll be in Jersey.
Ah.
Up there in Yankeeville, USA.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Well, Magellan Pintail. Never heard of that. Is that Magellan or Magellan? How do you say that?
That's
Magellan
the
Academy Sports. That's the jacket I wear, is a Magellan jacket. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
It may not be the pintail jacket, but it's a one that's somewhat waterproof.
And something also too is something I noticed at Cabela's lately. Of course, Cabela's brand is Redheads, but the price on those and Cabela's jackets are, I mean, you can almost buy the Drake or almost a damn Sitka for the price of stuff now.
Well, that's the problem. When Bass Pro bought out Cabela's, I mean, Cabela's actually had a decent waterfowl brand. It was Northern Flight.
Right.
And I mean, like the Super Mag waders are like a staple for duck hunters, and like their Berber fleece and all that stuff was awesome. And then Bass Pro bought them out, and then the Redhead started getting more incorporated. And the Northern Flight kind of just like got pushed back, and
and that's the waders I got, is the Super Mags, and I mean they are very nice waders for sure. But I mean, I paid a lot for them, and I mean, if you go on sale, look at Drake or something like that on sale, it's about the same price. It's crazy that Cabela's has increased their price so much. I mean, I remember you go get a Redhead flannel shirt for $9 at Cabela's.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't getting that anymore.
No.
And they used to have a nice used rack, because when they bought out, they got rid of the used section and everything.
Yeah, the bargain cave or whatever.
Yeah.
I used to buy tons of stuff out of that bargain cave, but now it's like you're paying full price for everything, no matter where you go there. Mm-hmm. I mean, everything's full price. I mean, I rarely see Cabela's with sales. You're going to need to really go to these small independent companies, go straight to the Decoy company or whatever like that. Cabela's is not doing anything. I mean, they're not helping out at all.
No, they're going to run themselves in the ground with just their, the way that they're running their business, and their sales really aren't nothing to brag about. Like, you're saving maybe $5.
Right. And I don't know who even wants to go to that damn place and buy a gun right now. I mean, the prices are just terrible. Customer service is terrible. You gotta pull a ticket and sit there and wait for your ticket to be called just to someone to help you. Even the gun gallery, that little used section they have.
Yeah.
Remington 870, basic 870. They're asking $500 for it. And I can go buy one brand new one for the same price.
Yeah.
It's just it's miserable.
Well, I guess another thing about like the waterfowl industry, like in general, is I mean, historically it's been a cottage industry, so it's a guy that makes these duck calls, and he makes them a little bit different than everybody else. So you're kind of like supporting the little man there, or the guy that originally invented the goose flag. Cottage industry. I mean, even like Big Al's. Dive bomb. I mean, granted, dive bomb might not be made in the U.S., but it's still a cottage industry. It's not something that is in a lot of stores. So,
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that's another allure about the waterfowl is that it's just like even though it's becoming more popular, it's still a close knit family, and it's just like, oh, hey man, I know like Chris, he's making this cut down call now that just is phenomenal. Next thing you know, his business takes off. And I mean, or this dude has a YouTube channel. Check this YouTube channel out. Next thing you know, I mean, the guy's making a living off of YouTube. So,
yeah, no, for sure. I try not to buy anything from Cabela's. I mean, ammo is the only thing we can get. I mean, we can't get fast deals anywhere else but Cabela's, unfortunately. So
Yeah.
we're always. It seems like every weekend we're going by there trying to snatch up whatever they just put on the shelf. And that's hard enough to get. But they it's try to buy directly from the manufacturer as much as you can instead of buying from the big name. They had Vortex binoculars for sale the other day, and I was like, "This is a nice set," So I think it was Vortex. Might have been another brand, but it wasn't Vortex. It was who makes them in the USA? The binoculars. I don't remember who it was now. But it was like the only set made in China, and it was like specifically for Cabela's. Like it was a Chinese set, and they were on sale for like $100.
Yeah.
Everything else made in USA.
Hey, Tyler, before you buy anything, you need to check out Rogers Sporting Goods when you go to buy more waterfowl stuff. That's pretty much where I point everybody. Don't worry about Green Top, Gander Mountain, all that down there close to Richmond. You're going to have more of a deal from Rogers Sporting Goods.
Yep. Or Max Prairie Wings or Wing Supply.
Yeah.
Then when he goes out with us, we'll set him up.
Sure. Yeah, I just don't want him to waste money down there with those guys, because they're going to charge out the ass anyway, and they're probably buying it from Rogers Sporting Goods and Max Prairie Wings anyway. I didn't know that the Tideway waders were made here in Tennessee. That's interesting.
I thought they were. I know.
He says, Jason out there in East Tennessee, he says that they're made 15 minutes away from him. I know y'all got High and Dry out there in Virginia or North Carolina too, or Virginia. It's one or the other. It's North Carolina or Virginia. But High and Dry is a pretty up and coming wader as well.
Yeah.
Isn't that what Bobby Guy wears? It's Tideway?
I don't think so. I know like Chasing Green wears it, like all the timber guys. Matt from Daddy Duck 365, he wears them.
I thought that Matt wore High and Dries.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. High and Dry.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Tideways.
Oh no, Tideway is what Jason, he says that they're made out there in East Tennessee. And I think that's what he wears, is Tideway.
Okay.
I've seen a lot of people wearing that. I'm not sure of the quality or if they're any good or not, but I know that the price is my style.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Tyler. He was asking me last night about frog tog waders. I mean, I know I've worn frog togs before, but I've never heard anything about their waders.
Tell them about your frog tog waders, Chris.
Okay.
Oh Lord, yeah. So that was the wader after my
Stocking
the jack waders that I bought. So I bought the frog togs because I picked them up at Dick's. And this is back before they turned all liberal. And I got them on sale. I can't remember how much I paid for them. It was next to nothing. And I called Justin. I was like, man, I finally got me some good pair of waders. Good to go. Well, not knowing nothing about it, the straps that come over the shoulder had nothing but Velcro. There was no buckle, no nothing.
Oh
And
God.
you know how Velcro is. Just over time, it don't want to hold. The knees, they had like the reinforced, sewn around like where your knees are. Those busted out, and they're actually like almost acting like a
billow, like
yeah.
Like you could use my legs.
So I had to like pretty much cut it out. What else happened to those things? The pouch in the front, that pretty much just stopped working. Like the Velcro went out in that. I poked a whole bunch of holes in them, like super easy. I was just walking through the woods. Yeah, they were terrible. It's probably the worst pair of waders I had.
There it is.
But yeah, I gotta have something with a buckle. That's like the first thing I look for in a wader. It's gotta have a snap buckle for over the shoulder. It can't be no Velcro.
Yeah, that's what I like about my mag waders. And plus, they always had the removable shotgun shell holder, which was super nice. But I saw that. What was it? Getting it outdoors tonight. Vortex going to crap. I mean, they're nice scopes, but Vortex the same thing. I mean, they are Chinese made still.
Yeah.
They might have that great warranty, and they are crystal clear. They're nice scopes, but they're still just Chinese scopes like everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm not sure what Leupold made. I mean, my old man was a firm believer in Leupold scopes.
They're top of the line. Loopholes are still made in the U.S.
Yeah. I mean, you're gonna get what you paid for, but I mean,
yeah,
Leupolds were the best of the best back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they still are. They're still great scopes, but it seems like Vortex spends a lot of marketing. Leupold doesn't market very much. Vortex, you're gonna see that in every sportsman show. You're gonna see Vortex commercial.
Well, and Ranella pushes it a lot too. So
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They're really pushing that. Have y'all seen the duck lure on YouTube?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're really pushing like first light, like all the times that like the camera, spins over to them talking, like they always got like the sign, the sign and stuff. But yeah, they're pushing a lot of different products now.
Well, first has the duck line out now, so that's why they're pushing that. So
yeah.
And the FHF like chest rigs, like they're using for their blind bags now, and I forgot what else they're using, but I mean it's all in what you like. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and criticize somebody for wearing Sitka or First Light or Drake or whatever. It's whatever you like. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If you like it, you can afford it. More power to you.
I've killed more geese in a set of Carhartts than anything else. So
yeah.
And one company I will say that we haven't mentioned tonight that I hope does better is Mojo. I mean, they had a bad run there for a little bit. Some of their flock flickers, some of their stuff. They do make nice. I mean, I've used their Dove decoys and all that stuff, and they're nice decoys. They're very nice, but I mean they've had a real bad run with I know a lot of the goose and duck hunters lately with their flock flickers and stuff. So hopefully they can fix their issues and get their stuff straight.
I know push now in the industry to go to Lucky Duck. So Lucky Duck's a little bit more innovative. I think Mojo got stagnant in their products. They got comfortable being one of the only motion decoys there for a while, and they
Didn't try to keep advancing.
right.
Yeah, because I got all Lucky Duck spinning wings, and I got tons of Lucky Duck stuff, and I love it. So especially being able to use AA batteries, I like that a lot better than having to like remember to charge my stuff up. That's personal.
Yeah, and they weren't cheap. They got a little cheap too, like with their Dove decoy. You know, you had those weird 4-packs of AA's. You had to stack all the AA's in that thing, and then plug it in, and the wires were real flimsy, and it was just junk. You know, the wires broke real easy on the Dove ones, and it didn't last at all. I mean, you'd be lucky to get a day out of one of the battery packs. You'd have to carry like a 12-pack of batteries with you.
Yeah.
You know, I think hopefully they'll get better. Like you said, I don't think they cashed out. They made all the money they were, and they just said, hell, that we're not going to innovate or invent anything more.
Well, they lost one of the co-founders here recently too, so I'm sure that's kind of put them back a little bit. So
yeah. Hopefully they can do. I mean, I think don't they have remember the tree, the Dove tree? You know, all that. You know, that was some cool stuff, but I mean, you can't find it anymore. I mean, they don't even. I'm sure they even hardly manufacture. The Dove tree was like the coolest thing ever. I mean, that was awesome.
You turn on, set up the spinning wings all over it, and then still, use the clip ones.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you're all sticking. And just imagine if you have like 8 to 10 of those things sitting around within like a 30-yard of where you're sitting. You tear up the doves
all day.
Yep. All right, I'm turning it into a pumpkin. So
yeah, you hit. Yep. Oh, hey Justin, before you leave, so I was gonna do this at the beginning, but I wanted to wait until the end, right when you retired, so that way I left you with something. So okay. You've been talking crap about me, and how I like to live my life. Well, you ain't got no excuses to drink it no more, because it ain't got no additives. It's straight coffee.
Oh,
so when you come out here, this is what you drink it.
Oh God!
Jill saw it at the store, and she was like, "I'll buy it." Got me a big old bag of it.
I see that. What dumpster did you get that out of?
I think I might I'll get Justin one of these mornings. I'm like, hey, but I'm gonna pick up some coffee for us. Give him a nice thing of black coffee of just straight pumpkin spice.
Gotta get the PSL.
Oh man.
Maybe we'll do that when we take the whatever it's called, the boat out for its main voyage. So
yeah, hopefully we'll see. I gotta get some batteries, and we should be good by Saturday.
I'll just take it out of the truck and be all right.
Yeah. I gotta go to DMV Friday and get some tags for it. It'll be legal.
Yep. So
we'll be good.
Yeah, all right, guys. So y'all have a good night. Everybody out there, Facebook land or whatever it is, y'all stay safe. Have a good night.
All right, Justin.
Yeah. See y'all.
All right, Stalls. I appreciate you coming on.
My man made some with some rebar.
Yeah.
Flooded and shot 8 doves and 9. That's pretty good. That's pretty damn good. All right. I'm out of here.
Yep. I appreciate it. And Stalls, I'll see you later.
Yeah, bud.
And for all y'all that are still listening, before you click off, Daddy Duck 365 is going to be doing a giveaway next Monday on his live. So this coming Monday. So here in 5 days, if I'm doing my math right. So tune in to his live. If you haven't subscribed to his channel, go ahead and hop over and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed to mine, hit that subscribe button. And before you click off too, if you could hit the thumbs up, that way it pops up on other people's feed. But I appreciate everyone staying active in the comments. We're going to keep this thing a weekly Wednesday get together. So I appreciate all y'all tuning in. Until next time, I've been Chris, Ducklope Outdoors. Y'all stay safe out there. Peace.